No, 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 no. Why is it so small? Oh, what is this? Holy shit. Why is it so small? I can barely see it. Uh, this one. And, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to Higurashi. Chapter 7. Yeah. Do. It's more than the standard size as well. Hello, Rina. It's kind of late. Wow. It's Kichi-kun. Good morning, good morning. This is the Watanagashi. Rina was ecstatically, waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy. What do you mean, good morning? It's already evening. It's true. Just say hello or something. Good evening. But this is the first time I've seen you today, so I think good morning is right. It's right. I got it. Okay, then good morning it is. Good morning, Rina. I grabbed Rina's head and rubbed it with my hand. She, squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat. Hello, Mion. Hey, Kichi-chan. Ki-chan. Sorry about yesterday, I left without telling you. No, it's my fault. Sorry for making you wait so long. Are you talking about setting up for the festival yesterday? How was it, Kichi-kun? Did you do your job properly? The slight muscle pain throughout my body and my sluggish movements were already obvious. You did great! I'm pretty worn out now, though. I grinned dryly and the three of us break out into laughter. Mr. Toko and Rika-chan, are we meeting up with them at the festival? Yes, Rika-chan's already been there since yesterday before she has such an important job. I think Satoko stayed with her, so they're already at the shrine. Nice. I just remembered today was Rika-chan's big performance. She'd been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I need to make sure I went and cheered her on. Alright, let's go right away. Yeah. Yeah, indeed, I guess. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. So, Chapter 1. Stories happened on Watanagashi, but this time they happened the day before, I guess. I saw Yushi earlier as well. I thought I could hear something like a Bon dance song, don't know what that is. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs. Kichi-kun, you're going too fast, wait for me. Man, Ki-chan, you're just a little kid. Wow, the shrine grounds, they were packed with people. It was a festival if I ever saw one. Wow, they went all out this year. Amazing, amazing. They're coming from Himizawa. The bedridden old man from the Kimiyoshi branch family is here too. Then that old guy went home from Watanagashi last year and stayed in bed ever since. Yet there were a lot of villagers here and that I didn't really know. They must have all been pouring in just for today. Oh, it's Satoko-chan. Hey. Hello, Satoko. Oh, if it isn't everyone, hello to everyone. Hello to you all. Yo, Satoko. There's a lot of people today, don't get lost in the crowd, okay? Or who do you ever think you're talking to? Who do you even think you're talking to? Satoko too seems somehow energetic, of course I'm the same way. Where's Rika-chan? She still has free time, doesn't she? Rika was giving with her respect to the mayor and other important people. She shall come before long. I see Rika-chan is the shrine maiden for today's festival after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all her elders. It really is a pain. Hello everyone. How, Rika-chan, I want to take you home. Rika-chan wore an immaculate shrine maiden outfit that looked fresh off the shelves. Cool. It was a perfect fit for her somehow mystic appearance. How does it fit? It's not too long, is it? My grandma gave me some safety pins just in case the sleeves are too long. It's alright. It really is comfortable. As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches. It's great, it's so cute how there was approximately one person here getting a nosebleed from watching Rika-chan move. Kichi-kun, don't you think she's cute, don't you? If you don't, then she'll be all mine and I'll take her home with me. I don't think she's really cute, totally cool. Enough that I want to pretend to be her big brother or dad and take pictures with her. If we take a picture from 2 different places and make it a stereoscopic, we can eat or rather stare at a real life Rika-chan at our homes whenever we want. How that sounds great, that sounds fantastic. Rina's eyes and mine glittered with stars as our nose bled and we drooled. Cool. So we can do another battle thingy like in the last chapter. Rika, you'd best stay away from them. When's the story gonna come? Yes, or I might get locked away in a basement somewhere. Ha 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 ha. You look like you're enjoying it though, Rika-chan. Me, you're being harsh. We all laugh together again. Okay, let's not hang around here, let's go to the festival. There's not much time left till Rika's Chan's big debut. Also could see Shion here as well. You're right, great, let's go everyone. Did it say they were gonna be here? Yeah. Yo, if it isn't the daughter of the Shinazaki, eat up. The yakisoba is full of pork this year, we filled it as much as we could. We even put in fried kalam ari. Cool, I don't know what that is. I keep saying the word cool. Got your old timer. The yakosaba this year looks like quite an achievement. You have squid too, you put a lot in this time, didn't you? Wow, it's tasty, it's tasty. Yeah, the squid is delicious, but the aroma is just fantastic. This wonderfully compensates for how soft it tends to be. There's a delightful amount of squid and pork in it too. Yep, not bad at all, I say. Haha. Ki-chan, you sound like you could walk into a program and become the host. Yeah, when I see Kichi-kun acting like it, so good, it somehow tastes even better. I don't discriminate amongst delicious food, so anything that I say is tasty has got to be worth trying out, right? Then Kichi, please give us your opinion on this yakosabi. I'll do it in 2 words. Absolutely scrumptious. If I had a second stomach, I'd buy another one right now. Having heard my 3-star rating, a whole line of people suddenly formed in front of the yakisoba stand. But that's amazing. Ki-chan said it was so good that a little crowd started to form, not bad. There's nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out my chest and put on airs. Oh, is that so? Then perhaps I shall try it out too. Mister, could I perchance bother you for one takoyaki? So Toko brought a stick of takoyaki balls of fried octopus from the adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth. How is it, Satoka-chan? If you give it a good rating, then Rina will bite it too. Chomp chomp, chew chew, gulp. Now it's time for the Himazawa Michelin judge Toko Hojo to give her impressions. Though she was all for it a moment ago, Toko hesitated to give her thoughts. Hey now, what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it into their mouth. Huh? Rina got yipped. Mine's bad too. There's no octopus in there. The takoyaki vendor, could this be some sort of festival only octopus free takoyaki stand? An evil takoyaki stand that skimmed on the octopus because I figured it would make them good money today. Mine has some. Yeah, it's pretty good considering there's octopus in there. How am I supposed to explain that this octopus free takoyaki is any good? Everyone wondered about that, but our puzzle looks seems to be drawing equally dubious stares from the people in line. How about this? Takoyaki without an octopus is really healthy, and even people who don't like octopus can eat this delicious takoyaki. After hearing that, several guests left the line. It had the exact opposite effect. Alright then, I'll give it a try next time. A self-inspired take on takoyaki in which you can clearly taste the simple flavors of the flour, green onions, and pickled ginger. That unaffected taste is bolstered by the absence of octopus. It wasn't half bad, but after hearing there's no octopus in it, pulls even more people to left the line. Rika-chan, any good comments? You can be honest. 400 yen is too much for this. Yeah, that was too honest. Few more customers leave the line dealing a lethal blow. There were other takoyaki stands around after all. Well, I mean, we might not want to be doing this. Hey Satoko, you started all this, so give us a great big turnaround. I can't do it. How do you expect me to lavish praise upon takoyaki without an octopus in it? Yeah, you idiot. Satoko's angry outburst was the finishing blow. Is the line empty now? Ugh. The customers are all gone. Huh? The guys is staring at us. Why is that? Why is that? How? Sigh. There's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Kichimabara-sama, will lend a generous hand. Kichi-kun, you could do it. We want you to save the takoyaki vendor who didn't put any octopus in. Don't smile as you say something so bitter. Alright, fine. This may be the only chance you'll get to see a pro at work, so watch carefully. I shoved the stick into an octopus-less takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. As before, there wasn't any octopus in it, but Mian had some. That was the important point. The man who runs this takoyaki stand, he truly loves takoyaki in every meaning of the word. No, it could even be said he adores it. Eh? Everyone gasped in surprise, including the takoyaki vendor glaring at us. This man truly loves takoyaki, and because he loves it, he doesn't want to give half-hearted random ones. Isn't that right? The takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. Those watching were listening intently, waiting to know why octopus-less takoyaki deserves such high praise, such a high rating. Kichi-san, if you really and truly love takoyaki that much, why did he make takoyaki without any octopus at all? Is he not betraying that very takoyaki? You may be right, in one sense it is a betrayal, however it's the best possible compromise this man could find. This man is making real takoyaki today as he always does, however only one or two of them on each stick are the real ones. But you're right, the one I had octopus in it, and considering it did actually have some, it didn't taste all that bad, you know? Right, that was a bona fide takoyaki, and as of the other ones, it was the biggest compromise you could make against the biases of the general populace, who all think that there needs to be 8 pieces on the stick, or else it's not real takoyaki. Huh? Kichi-kun, I don't understand what you mean. Why is one of them the real one and all the other ones are fake? Why? The secret lies in the octopus. Mister, this octopus, it's 2 Akiyashi octopus, isn't it? In recent years, the number of octopuses caught in Akiyashi has decreased, and their prices have risen drastically. Prices are now so high that you wouldn't think of using them in takoyaki. Then the man who had been looking down this entire time mumbled, "Yeah, that's right. Akiyashi octopus is very expensive." But this man absolutely had to have the Akiyashi octopus. He could have bought much worse quality octopus for cheaper, as much as he wanted, and he would have still been able to fool everyone. There are plenty of other scamming takoyaki vendors who claim theirs are from Akiyashi even though they're not. But this man wouldn't accept it, he wouldn't tell lies. Akiyashi octopus are supreme, he would never relinquish this one stubborn conviction. This man loved takoyaki, that's why he never lied. Yet there was one thing he absolutely had to compromise on. What might that be? The number. Popular opinion is that a stick of takoyaki should have 8 pieces on it. Even if it's real Akiyashi octopus, he couldn't charge 400 for just 1 piece, could he? If he didn't have 8 pieces, nobody would buy them. This man wept over it. In order to make just 2 pieces of takoyaki, he wouldn't even let himself lie through the other shuttling. Ow. Whoa. The octopus feet takoyaki vendor burst into tears. I gently clapped my hand on one of his shoulders. No matter what anyone says, I will never forget how genuine you are. You, sir, are a true vendor of takoyaki. You are the only one in the world with the right to call himself that. Clap, 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 clap. As I embraced the shoulder of this man, shedding his manly tears, those watching delivered a round of applause moved by my speech. Everyone, I beg of you, please eat some of this true takoyaki vendor's takoyaki. If you don't treasure genuine men like this, then how can we protect the true price of the takoyaki? If nobody else will eat them, I will eat them all. Seems expensive to eat them all. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everyone watching is lining up. Kichi-kun, you did it! You did it! I think it's more though Ki-chan's propaganda speech was interesting rather than the takoyaki actually looked good. Ki-chan, you could probably sell plain rocks if you tried. You would go over well at the entrance of Akihabara Station. Rika, I have never heard of this Akihabara. Where is it? Absolutely stunned by Amara's successful pitch, the guy manning the stall next to this one called out to me. Hey, you guys do that for sweets too? Great, you'll get the gist of it, right? It's your turn this time, Rina. Okay, I'll do my best. How when apricot sweets are cold, they're very, very good. The apricot is sitting so quietly and nicely on top of the syrup. Oh, it's so cute. I want to take it home. How there's actually lots of stuff in this midway through though, but I can't giving it such natural praise what is itself bringing some customers. I was quickly falling behind Rina. Next up is the Akono Miyaki stand. Tadoko, you're up. Rather well. The crunch of the fried tempura batter mixed with yakisoba is simply to die for. With a huge piece of bacon laid on top, when you bite into it, it all comes flowing out. Chomp chomp. Yeah, that's freaking great. Now I want to try some too. And a huge lineup followed by those words. What on earth is this? So basically, it was all because I was following us around to all our stands. People hear about food from others and then try it themselves. It tastes a lot better than it normally would. So that's it. You and Rika-chan was gorging herself on the food, getting sauce on the bib she put on to prevent her shrine maiden outfit from getting dirty. Nice, the older guys are getting into it too. Okay, Ki-chan, which one should I do? Right, Mion, you should go to the stand next to that. Show them the depths of your power. But Ki-chan, the stand next to that is, whoops, a goldfish scooping stand. A bit out of the element. Now, as a club president, I won't flee no matter who or what my opponent is. Let's get started. Goldfish. I look forward to a splendid performance meet, and the onlookers were also watching me on with hopeful eyes. And yeah, I unpaused it. Okay. Welcome. Here's your net and bowl. Okay, here we go. The goldfish are energetic today. They really look delicious. Small things like these, you could crush them down and eat them whole. Matcha. Mion-san, what in the world are you saying? Mi-chan, you eat them? Did you eat the one that Rina got you last year too? No, I didn't say anything like that. Mion's face went red and she shook it vehemently in denial. Well, I mean, you just said yourself that they look delicious. Yes, you did indeed say so. My sister is omnivorous. She eats anything that can go in her mouth. If they taste good, then maybe I'll try one next time. No, Rika. Don't, you'll get sick. Wait a second. Hey, what the heck? Shion now, how long have you been there? Hey Ki-chan, Mion and everyone, good evening. Where did you come from, Shion? I've been here since the bit with the yakisoba. You were also loud that I found you right away. Jeez, you got nothing to do with this, do you? Go somewhere else already. Jeez, Mion, don't treat me so cruelly, right, Ki-chan? You're okay with me being here, right? She asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her chest into her for a bounce. Ki-chan, you're a pervert, your nose is bleeding. When you squish a jelly donut, the jelly comes out, right? It's the same. This isn't something I have control over. Is that right? Then will more come if I squeeze harder? Squeeze squeeze. Her cleavage is right up against my chest. Drip. Dreep. Yeah. Shion, what the heck are you trying to do? How vulgar. I seem to have misjudged you. What about my flat chest? Rika-chan claps onto my other arm to rub. A, careful plump feeling on my left side and the sour sensation of a young unripe boot on my right side. How. Boom, boom, bang. Shion, Rika-chan and I. Our faces now bruised fall to the ground, limbs sprawned. Nice job, Rina. Did you punch Rika? Yeah, everyone's so dirty, ho. Rina punched me, it really hurts. Rika-chan, you get what you deserve. Sheesh. Now that Shion was here, the energy around us has increased by 120%. Your friends are so much fun, Mion. I never get bored of them. Right. If you weren't here, it would be even more fun, you know? I want to stay with you all, but if I continue seducing Ki-chan, Sister looks like she's literally gonna bite my head off. So I'll retreat for now. I'll be back. See you, Mion. Don't be back. Get the salt. Someone get the salt. Is she a demon? After teasing her older sister so much, Shion ran away into the crowd of people and disappeared. I feel I have bore witness to a rare side of Mion-san. When Mi-chan is with Shi-chan, she looks kinda cute. Rina smiled happily, entering running her a whack on the head from Mion. Don't say dumb stuff like that, let's get to the next stand already. We went about just like that, really noisy and lively to the other stands. We were paying money towards the beginning, but midway through the guys running the shops thought we were just too funny and we ended up able to fool around without having to pay much more. Thump. The vigorous sound of a big taiko drum echoed throughout the air. Oh, is it already your performance time? Rika, looks like it's time. Oh, it is. Yep, looks like it is. It's just about time for Rika-chan to appear in the officiatory dance. I'm a little nervous. Believe in yourself. All of your sweat will definitely amount to something, Rika-chan. Yon slapped hard on Rika-chan's back. That's right, you'll do fantastic, Rika. I'll do my best. Yeah, that's the spirit. I ball my hand into a fist and raise it into the air. We're rooting for you, Rika-chan. Go for it, yeah, remember. Go for it, yay. Rika-chan gave the best smile I've ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off. Okay, we should get going too. Alright, let's go cheer her on. You mustn't. You must keep silent during the performance. I got it, jeez, I rubbed a hand through her hair. She was worried about her good friend up to the end. Then we better go hurry, or the good spots will be taken. Come on now. Mion ran off and everyone else followed a moment later. A large amount of people had already clustered into the tight space to watch the, edifying dance. Wow, this is a lot of people. I turned around to look at everyone else, but no one else was there. Where did everyone go? They probably got lost among all the people. Finally, I spied the back of Mion's head on the other side of the crowd. This actually doesn't look like I can get over there. Well, we got separated, no big deal. We can just meet up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around. Trying to find look for this place where I'd be able to see better. It didn't take long for me to realize I've had to settle for watching between the heads of the people in front of me though. Thump, once again and even louder the takoyaki drum resounded. This one was to announce the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come onto the stage with the elders, who were in priestly garb. I heard exhales of admiration and the seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way, and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. Should have cut playtime short and come here to get a good spot earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding. and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then the solemn offertory dance began. She had practiced using a Muchi pounding helmet. The awkward shaped vessel how Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down, it was doubtlessly difficult even lifting the air. But she sweated and waved, raised and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As a shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at the festival. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Damn, why am I cheering her on for a place I can barely see her? On offense, I should be right up in the best spot rooting for her. Key-chan over here. Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. Oh, Shion. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. She had a mischievous grin on her face, and I took it as her saying she knew a good spot when no one else knew of. Shion, what's up? Shh, just be quiet and come with me. After she told me so, she ran into a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have somebody who knows the lay of the land here at times like this. Impressed though I was, I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so that I wouldn't be left behind. As I wondered in anticipation what kind of secret spots Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around to the back of the shrine grounds. Hey, wait, where are we going? We're getting further and further away. Shh, just stay quiet and follow me, you'll understand soon. Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people and not much moonlight, it was dark. We had gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people on the shrine ground. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here? I see there's some high spots around here, isn't there? Like a rooftop or somewhere we can get a good look down. Why? What? Why do we need to climb onto the roof? Well, how else are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance? Did you really want to see Rika-chan's dance? Chi-chan, could it be that your strike zone is really low? I don't think we're understanding each other here. Aren't you going to show me somewhere I could see Rika-chan's dance from more easily? What? Who made that promise? Yeah. What's going on? Why me? Why do I always have to misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault? Or am I just really bad at reading into things? Then why did you call me all the way out here? With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is dark, dead, empty spot. You can't see it from the festival grounds, and now men of female of the same age are alone together, eh? Could it be? Shion, she's not planning something crazy, is she? Shh. Go over there, see?" Shion whispered, pointing into the dark underbrush. And there saw two figures, one male and one female. What's that? Is that? We're right at the scene of a rendezvous, of course. See, look closely. Can you tell who they are? I peered intently into the darkness as Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomitak and Takano-san. The two of them were clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure nobody knew they were there, as I crouched before the entrance to a wooden storehouse-like building. Is this where the things are you said you were gonna attack? Wait, Shion, could this be what you wanted to show me? Why isn't it underground? Whatever. P-chan, you can see Rika-chan's charmers dance at any year, but you won't ever get another chance like this, okay? The underground we better hide something away, but whatever. I thought the Shionzaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this they seem too similar. I'm going back. Don't call me for something like this again. If you move now, they'll see us. A noisy argument to Kana-san suddenly turned around. Oh my, who might that be? We had our best and tried to wait it out, but it seemed like Kana-san was now acutely aware of our presence. Jin and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush. Well, hello there. The moon show is beautiful tonight, isn't it? My, if it isn't Shion-chan and Mabata-kun. Good evening, yes, the moon certainly is pretty. What's this, Kichi-kun? You sure are smart, you know that? Having a secret date in a place like this? Then I guess we accidentally interrupted something important, haha. You're the one who's meeting up secretly. Takano-san, Tomitaka-san and Takano-san laughed to themselves, and it got on my nerve for some reason. Wait, so you two weren't having a little rendezvous then? Of course we went. Ba-ba-da. Though I don't dislike that kind of romance. Mhm. Hee hee. Unfortunately, this wasn't the location of a rendezvous either of you would want to see. Sorry for not living up to your expectations. Hmm. Hmm. Wasn't a rendezvous then. What were you doing? Tommy Taxan, were you messing around with the padlock on the door just now? Huh? After you said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door, fitting with a pretty heavy-looking padlock. Hmm. Hmm. Tommy Taxan knows how to pick locks? Hmm. Okay. Guess we've been found out, huh? We were trying to break into the warehouse, but don't tell anyone, alright? Don't tell anyone. Are you thieves or something? I demanded unthinkingly, just because of how absently Tommy Taxan was grinning. Nah, never. Thieves are people who steal things, right? It's not like we're trying to take anything out of here. Mhm. I see. Then why are you trying to unlock the door? This is the forbidden storeroom for ritual tools. They say only the Furudu family and a mere handful of others are allowed in. Forbidden storeroom. I took a few steps back at that and looked at the entire warehouse. Certainly looked like one, but built removed from any sign of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened, and it was built to be durable, giving it a strange, overwhelming impression. Now that I look at it more closely, it was certainly different than the normal warehouses. This place, they're called ritual implements. Basically, this is a warehouse where they store such tools used in rituals. Or more accurately, maybe it's a temple where the implements are enshrined. The ritual Higurashi is using for the officiatory dance is inside here until today. Of course, if anyone but the Furudu family enters, they bring impurity into it, so absolutely no one is allowed to step foot into it. It says sanctuary. Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childish expression, an innocent smile at best and terribly cruel grin at worst. I told you I was researching Himizawa's folklore tales and legends out of interest in them, didn't I? A lot of the answers to questions I'm curious about are hidden away in here. I waited all this time until today for a chance. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grind today. This was the ultimate blind spot. I see. I didn't know you had lockpicking skills at Tommy Taxan. Stop it. I don't want to be doing this, okay? Mhm. Sorry for taking you along with me, but this is all thanks to you, Gio-san. I really am grateful. Sheesh. This is the only time I understand, Takano-san. I don't want to be sneaking into places like this. Heh. You really are a good person, Gio-san. Kirk, blink. Tommy Taxan undid the padlock and placed it to the side. It's open. That's so. Thank you. At long last, Takano-san gulped with an unusually excited air about her. She gave the heavy door a shove. The sharp smell of mold and dust blowed out from the gaps in the door. I had claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation I couldn't believe in them. I could believe in them. If we were into such a holy place with our shoes on, feels like we would be punished somehow. How about it? Your accomplices too. You came all the way here, so why not come in and take the tour? It'll be a little field trip to a museum of precious cultural artifacts that conceal the secret history of Himizawa, and it's only open today. Hehe. We're not accomplices or anything. Aren't you interested though? Come on, let's take a peek. Shion said predictably, linking her arms with me. But we definitely shouldn't be doing this. This is a holy warehouse, isn't it? You said ritual implements, right? I really feel like we shouldn't go in. I'm a part of the Shinozaki family, so I have a good guess as to what's in there. But I want you to see it too, Ki-chan. You want to show me? You want to show something to me? I thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes looked entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy too, and my curiosity was at least twice of that of a normal person. Steeping forbidden treasures, never to leave this warehouse. Chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then I want to see. Till the locked doors open, though. I don't know about this. If you're not interested, Ki-chan, then you can leave now. I think you'll wonder about it later though. Takano Tomita-san spoke, listened to our discussion himself, having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest. I'll keep watch here. Go in and check it out with them. I'm not too interested, but it might be pretty interesting for a young guy like Yuki-chan. Foo 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 foo, he said, laughing mischievously. Foo 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 foo. I think this might be better. Okay. There's no ill will in his laughter. Tomita-san, do you know what's in here? Kind of. Takano-san told me all about it. Must be a pain to have to go along with your companion's unique hobbies, huh? Tomita-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she dropped absolutely everything else, something she had interest in, and goes straight for it. But Tomita-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter. Okay, but just a little. If it's not interesting, I'm leaving. You got it. Shion gave me another Mia-like wink. Looks like we're decided. Shall we head in? Gio-san, we'll leave this to you. Tomita-san waved his hand to see us off. Oh, it's a door. The inside was pitch black, but Takano-san turned the battery powered lantern she brought, revealing a pretty cramped room in the front. I could do this. His light makes it slightly lighter. It's so dark in here. Everyone take not to trip up over anything. I appreciate the concern. Okay, doorman, keep a good watch. We're shutting the door now. Takano-san smiled spitefully as if leaving Tomita-san out of something fun. Began to close the door. Ah, man. Alright, everyone have fun. There was a low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had. It'll be fine. It's an outdoor lantern with backup batteries inside. It won't go out or anything. Looks like Takano-san noticed my uneasy expression. I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside there was a heavy and old but sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was a last door sealing away what was within. Strange how it has an tech chamber even though it's just a warehouse, isn't it? I believe it's set up this way so that you can open one door at a time, never letting the room with all the tools be seen from the outside. What's that? Well, getting from what you're saying is you have to shut the outside door before you can open the inside door. So how does that work? I don't know. Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here, huh? Now over there, it's a spider circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wiring, clumsily attached to the wall. Oh here, isn't this a light switch or something? I flipped the biggest switch I can find, and with a click, the pitch black room was illuminated by an old bare light bulb. Ah. Everyone scrunched up their faces at the sudden strobe of light brightness. Don't! Before she even finished, Shion slammed my hand and flipped the switch back. There was another loud click, and the room returned to darkness with only the lantern for illumination. Ow. You can't, Ki-chan. We snuck in here, remember? If you turn on the light, it might give us away. I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light. That's alright. It was only for a moment. Takano-san remained a relaxed adult. It seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it. If anyone did see us, let's go in. Here we go. There, the even heavier door opened, and this time it wasn't just dust that came out with it. There was also a nasty smell. One smell was like opening a dustful cabinet in the back of a kitchen that hadn't been opened for years. The other smell, the nasty one, was hard to explain, but it was like the raw odor of a fish market. From how the second echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. How the sound echoed. Takano-san held up her lantern and reveal the contents of the expansive room. Whoa. At the back wall of the storehouse right in front of us was a Buddha-like holy object standing there, looking down at us. I was a bit taken aback by his unseen forth, lit up by this slender beam of the lantern. Is it Orishida-sama? As the guardian deity of Himizawa, Orishida-sama. It's far grander than the one at the shrine, Orishida-sama, so this is the spirit protecting Himizawa. The one guarding the holy land of Himizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempt to sully the land with the dam construction. It looks like there are far more tools stored here than I thought, but this is so sad. None of them have been maintained. Unfortunate that they're in such a state. Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceiling, and shelves. Kana-san, speaking as if in trance, was infatuated by the various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festive-like or traditional, but instead, this was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or carpenter. There was a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. I'd imagine there would be more artistic things in here from the Heian period, but they are a far cry from being a cultural artifact. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes, and they caught on right away. Oh, is it not interesting for you? I'm not into literacy or art, so I can look at this stuff, but I don't really understand its value. Phew. Kichi-kun, you really do look like you don't get it. I guess that's only natural. The Kana-san reached into a paper bag that she'd been holding the whole time, tore out a scrapbook and began to flip through it. Then just for you, Kichi, I'll tell you an old story. It's a common tale in this region. If you go to the library, it would even be on the recommended reading list. Telling stories in such a dark, creeping place. She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face bellowed, nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mian, she would have found fault with me being scared. I'll enjoy it now and pretend to be calm. Okay, alright, I'll read it. After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book. Long ago, in a certain village, in the mountains, there was a swamp. This swamp was very deep. Some even called it bottomless. People said it was connected to hell, the land of demons. The rumors said that it was deeper than the ocean, and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, a bottomless swamp. Its name was Onigaushi. Wait, I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifices sinking into the bottom of the bottomless swamp. Could that be the swamp she's talking about? So then the village was Himizawa, right? You catch on quickly. That's right. Though it was called Onigaushi Village at the time. Onigaushi Village. That's pretty in conspicuous name. Invokes the image, doesn't it? I hear that the name was changed in the Meiji period. The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onigaushi, which meant the demon's abyss, and the true name of the village Himizawa was Onigaushi Village. The villagers belonged to the abyss, or to hell in other words. They lived their lives worshipping the swamp and said to connect to it. But then one day, demons began to appear one after another from deep in the swamp. The villagers feared that hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do nothing more than hide themselves and tremble. So did somebody exterminate them? Unfortunately, there is no Momotaru or Superman in this fairy tale. Then did they get the whole village together to fight them? Heavens no. The villagers weren't nearly as strong enough to fight on equal terms with the demons. Then the only recourse would be to flee the village. They couldn't do that either. To the villagers, it was their beloved homeland. Didn't matter how terrifying the demons were, they wouldn't have run away so easily. Then what did they do? Wouldn't they just get wiped out? Unable to fight and unable to run. What they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Well, they could run, but unwilling to run, not unable. Then when everyone had lost hope, their god, Orishida-sama, descended upon them. I see, so Orishida-sama came down from the skies and beat all the demons then. You're such a boy, Ki-chan. You always jumped straight to using force to resolve things. Shion sighed, a little annoyed, embarrassed. I held my tongue. The thing about Orishida-sama, he wasn't a violent god who would beat them up like you're saying. He's a kind god full with love and benevolence. The strength of Orishida-sama descended from the heavens couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight, they simply prostrate themselves before his radiant authority. Orishida-sama urged them to go back to hell from whence they came, but the demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return. The world of demons too had harsh commandments. They claimed they had been banished from hell. Demons, who didn't have a place to go either in hell or in the human world. Of course they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were sorry. As the villagers conversed among themselves, little by little they came to pity the demons, and after talking with everyone in the village they decided to live amongst them. A lot of fairy tales have them being exterminated or driven away, but you don't often hear one where they live in peace. You're right. Demons are supposed to symbolize all evils. A story where they decide to live together with humans is certainly strange. When the demons first heard the villagers' invitation, they dyed their ears, but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that in payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of powers and secrets with the villagers. Orishida-sama was very pleased with this happy exchange. He gave the demons the body of humans so that they could be indistinguishable from the villagers. He himself decided to stay on the surface and watch over the everlasting peace between them. A land in which man, demon, and god live together. I thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. The god may have mediated for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like that where both sides live in harmony. I see, I guess it is kind of interesting. Although the normal fairy tale ends there, it was revised quite a lot during the Edo period into a much longer story. After that, the humans and demons intertwined, and eventually there were no difference between each other. So the demons ended up disappearing? No, not at all. Half of them stayed just as they were. The knowledge the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people call transcendent. They were well aware that the power they had was heresy, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out their lives in secrecy. This story is the root of many deviant tales and pieces of fiction. It's the foundation, I mean, the basis. What do you mean by root? She means the part about the villagers having demon blood. What I mean is all the legends from around here are based on the premise that the villagers are descendants from demons. There's a hint of amusement in Shion's face as she said that. It was like she wanted to say that she too had demon blood in her. Is there any proof though? Maybe somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tales. Well, Mabara-kun, then do you believe that demons really did come out of the swamp and breed with humans? Well, it's not that I don't believe it, but when she said demons, she meant the ones from hell, but in ancient Japan the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use was the drifting foreigner theory. The story goes, Westerners who were shipwrecked in nearby seas had such markedly different customs that they were called demons. Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different: their physique, their face, and their skin color. In Japan, terms like red demon and blue demon evoke images, especially of Westerners. Like in skin pigment, Westerners was sunburned easily and turn red. Being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing on their skin would turn blue too. A handful of accidental aliens were driven to Japan and come under persecution, being called demons. They were fleeing to mountains to survive, turning to bandit groups, and attack villages for food and the like. How does that explanation sound? Maybe it's a bit childish, but Kana-san gave me a weird smile when having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis. I unconsciously followed it up with self-deprecation. Still, she didn't smile or make fun of me. It's not ridiculous. There are a lot of people who subscribe to the drifting foreigner theory, even so nobody actually knows what happened. Were they a group of foreigners who had turned into banditry, or were they really demons who had come from the bottom of the world? Then, Takano-san, which one do you believe? The truth of the matter aside, I'd rather believe the more fantastic explanation. It's more fun that way, isn't it? The answer made her sound a wee bit like a romantist. Here I thought she would reject unrealistic stories like that. Now then, this is where the fun begins. Takano-san brought an end to the storytelling and waits for a moment as if to tantalize us. Suddenly Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed. What's wrong, Shion? I'm sorry. Please don't worry about it. Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject. Explained that half the villagers have demon blood. That blood they actually say that isn't the blood of the kind of demons that eat humans. Man-eating demons? That escalated quickly. That blood still runs through the villagers' veins. They say that sometimes the blood awakens from its slumber. I thought that fairy tale had a happy ending with the humans and demons living in peace, but it began to suddenly change into a more brutal, bloody story. While they eat people, they say that every decade or so, they can't help but want to feast on human flesh. The villagers can't eat other villagers, so they hunt lower down the mountain, I guess. So when this happens, it's said that they descend on the villagers and conduct Onikaushi. What's Onikaushi? Broadly speaking, it's when a demon kidnaps someone, when a person is demoned away. They say that the villagers of Onikaushi, Onigaushi, although they're slightly different, would overwhelm unfortunate human villagers in order to kidnap sacrifices. The Kana-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lost their human reason. The villagers turned into real demon en masses. They attacked the villagers they loathed in the dirty world of the masses below, and they kill and eat their sacrifices, so they're not different from demons after all. What did Orishiro-sama do? Wasn't he supposed to be staying in the village and watching over them? Orishiro-sama knew about it, of course. Onikaushi is indiscriminate. The villagers apparently never kidnapped anyone other than the sacrifices decided upon by their gods. In the text, it's usually one or two people. A village inhabited by those both human and inhuman. It was like the heartwarming episode colors had inverted like a negative film, revealing the painful and ugly truth. So on the night when they raided villages, they would feast on their kidnapped sacrifices, which is why the nights came to be known as Watanagashi. Watanagashi, tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me. Watanagashi, well, wasn't it about giving thanks to the futons we use over the winter or something? Ki-chan, Wata has another meaning, you know. It means entrails. Shion, who had been silent until now, spoke up. Entrails? Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Like fish guts. Wait, what? Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun times I had today, and the kind of grotesque a tale put together in my mind. What's Nagashi, so gut spilling? I don't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating. Yes, it's as you imagine about it, Kun. Right now the Watanagashi festival might just be a somewhat early summer festival occurring every June, but it used to be different. It used to be a ghastly cannibalistic feast. Part of the night the villagers had collected their unfortunate dinner. That can't be true. I had no real reason to say, but I just couldn't help it. Mubarakun, you said that Watanagashi is a ritual about purifying futons, right? What do you think the futons filled with cotton with water represent? Futons are futons, they're beds. They're things for sleeping in. What else could they possibly represent? Human bodies, I guess? I was rattling on desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san was describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. futon stuffed with cotton. If cotton represents entrails in both punctuation, and meaning, then entrails full of futons would have to be humans. Why don't you think back to the off offertory dance Rika-chan performed? Do you know what she was doing up there? She was cutting open a futon. No, I don't know. I don't even want to watch. I didn't watch the whole thing anyway. Shh, Chi-chan, you're getting too worked up. Shion grabbed one of my ears and reminded me that this wasn't somewhere I should raise my voice. Even so, I still can't suppress this agitation I feel. Rika-chan, she was carrying a festival hoe. You should probably realize it already, but that's not how flying feels. It's a tool for dissecting human bodies. I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I didn't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I left. When I told this to Kana-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said, after what I've seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futon with a hoe, cutting them open and pull out the cotton inside. She would cut the cotton out and one bit at a time set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was. Broadly speaking, it was kind of the bombastic ceremony where they would rip out the guts and throw them into a basin, and the ritual was over. It's thought that afterwards the villagers would each with a different role, dismantling the flesh piece by piece and feasting upon it. Heh. After Kana-san's strangely happy giggle, I felt for some reason violent displeasure. Rika-chan, every day during our break, she would take a rice pounding mallet into the schoolyard. She'd worked so hard, sweating bullets, to practice for the offertory dance she had today. All that effort, all that work. Takana-san disgraced it, even though she worked so hard to practice for today. Out of my ears. Takana-san, I think you should choose your words carefully. Ki-chan's pretty naive, so don't tease him too much. A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how that story made me feel. I'm sorry, I thought you'd like a story with the shock value, since you're a boy. Takana-san spoke without a hint of malice as she smiled gracefully. After hearing all that, did you figure out what kind of stuff is in the storehouse? Ki-chan, see, look. Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern light. There was... mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest, they were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. Ugh. All those uninteresting tools that I didn't understand how to use. They suddenly took a new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first they looked like carpentry tools, like chisels and planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these kind of tools before. Yeah, they came out of Japanese history textbooks. Yes, on the page introducing the Keitei Shisho with the next text of anatomy. These sorts of things, they're printed realistically in the Higurashi of Germany, capital of the medical world. These aren't carpentry tools. These strange-looking tools are for dissection. Everyone knows that in the Edo period they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put in death to gain more knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustration of the dissection tools they used at the time came from textbook supplements. The thing hung up on the wall all looked exactly the same as those. If you want a scarier way of looking at it, think of them as cooking utensils, hehe. Takana-san, holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her, whether I liked to or not. Look, Takana-san illuminated a coiled chain, which left a large bigger impression than the other thing we saw. The chain itself was nothing unusual, but further along it was metal fetters that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people. Ki-chan, look at that! Shion tapped my shoulder and pointed to a restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. My spine froze, my blood felt like it was turning into a sheer bent as it crawled back on my back. On each of the joints there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them in. It's probably a chopping block. I think you had strapped the sacrifice down to prep them for eating. The word chopping block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it, as though from a knife or a saw. They were the most clean-cut signs of usage you could ask for. provoke, these tools were just for show. They were used for their original purpose. If somebody was strapped tightly onto the table, they probably wouldn't be able to even move a muscle. The guts would be defenseless. You would take one of those eerie looking knives lined up over there and stab them with it. Then you would cut them open, their bellies, and dissect them. I'd heard the stories, but this is incredible. Before coming here, Shion had mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside, but seemed to have exceeded her imagination. There's still more. How about it? How more fascinating than a wax museum, isn't it? Nakana-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy shop for the first time in a while. I don't get it. This Takana person has nerves of steel. Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I for one was not enjoying myself. I'll be frank. This was all too weird for me. Still, there was something even more horrifying than all this. That would be none other than Takana-san herself. Takana was holding the lantern, giving off such a thin beam of light. If she suddenly turned it off, then I would. What would I do when the next moment everything went totally dark? That's why I was scared. Takana-san had the only light, and anyway, I was scared. At some point, Shion had started holding onto my shirt sleeve. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air I felt in my skin changed completely. Those cruel tools lined up all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones made to take away sacrifice's freedom, and some were tools made to effectively dismantle and prepare the bodies for consumption. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details about what sort of terrifying reason they were meant to be useful. At the very least, they were completely different from the sort of clean and simple killing function of a katana. Those who kill people were obviously constructed in such a way that they could kill people. If that was the goal, then the person you would use them on would obviously end up dead. These tools, however, were different. The tools here were for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying were just an incidental result. Actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrifying process, that would be nice, but they don't even die in the end. They remain in a state of hellish pain. Perhaps they were only being allowed to live. Only now, in this moment, did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was. People, you see, most of these wouldn't kill them if used properly. Takana-san, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking smile. Burning at the stake, the famous method of execution for witches, will kill the person immediately. The body suffers extreme burns on the skin, all over the decomposition of the skin chemicals make a process poison-like symptoms and causes an immediate shock in the victim. Though I suppose it's still very cruel compared to the guillotine. You have to wait far longer for that to happen. She describes such horrors in a strangely medical way. Shion immediately answered the question I had. Takana-san is a nurse. You're saying that nothing can scare a doctor, I guess it's true. Oh, and also, there was a method of execution in ancient Rome where they would grill the person. Just like a barbecue, they would cover the person in wire, netting, and slowly cook them over a charcoal fire. To think the memories of when I went to a day camp with my family would come rushing back now all the time so vividly. That's what I was like. Apparently they wouldn't die too easily for some reason. According to one source, even if they were roasted on one side of a person to a crisp for an entire night, they would still be conscious and able to speak fluently. That's insane. You'd grill someone the whole day and still be conscious? It's said that ancient Rome's famous for their executions, though. Are plenty of ways to execute somebody while having the victim stay alive as long as possible. Amongst them, there was one method where they would open the gut, pull out the intestines like sausages, pull them up with a winch, and put them on public display. Shion was behind me clinging to me, not just because she was scared, she was protecting her stomach. You would think somebody with their intestines pulled out would die instantly, right? Actually, as long as you do it tenderly and thoroughly, it's actually possible to pull them out while the person is still conscious. I felt sick. I felt a sick feeling in my stomach. It was like my organs were coiling up just from Takano-san's stares. So pulling them out with a winch was a rather exaggerated method. In a more barbaric way, they might slice open the guts, then cut the intestines out and throw them everywhere. It's quite imaginable. They did dreadful things like that too, isn't it? However, those being put to death are conscious. Must be far more terrifying than painful. She spoke with pleasure, as if she had come here on a sightseeing trip. I heard Shion gulping multiple times near my ears. Perhaps Himizawa or rather Onigashima village did something like that for the Watanagashi festival. Listen, if you try, can't you hear it? I wanted nothing more than not to hear anything at all. So why of all times do I begin to hear something I shouldn't be able to? Chime? Takano-san realizing she scared Shion, and I enough at some point smiled soothingly. Then she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we would gain further away from the light. Shion and I, no matter how scared we were, forced to follow Takano-san along on her field trip to the ritual storehouse. Ooh, are we back at the entrance? I suppose we've seen a bit of everything, see? This place is interesting, isn't it? Yusei raising the lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason, I felt like I was able to see all those horrible tools at once. Kichan, look up. Shion stammering while grappling the nape of my neck. What is it? I couldn't tell because it was too dark, but there was a lot of tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They were all made of iron bars, but then I figured it out. Cages. For cages, they were too small. Cramped cages for one, like a casket. If we got locked up in here, you know, they wouldn't get locked up inside. There's another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. More big and large things of all shapes were hanging down. The Takano-san's mention of execution by grinning crosses my mind. We weren't just surrounded on all sides, but these terrifying instruments, things crowding the ceilings, or even hanging over our heads. Well, it's like if they come alive, they're gonna attack you or something. There are many of these sorts of bird cages among Europe torture devices. I'm surprised to see them in Japan as well. Kichan, is there something in there? A person? A mummy? Or where? Jian just be pointing out to one of the many human-sized cages hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't tell which one she meant. Being that dark, there wasn't any way you could tell if something was in there in the first place. I don't see anything. You sure you're not seeing things? Shion didn't seem convinced, but without a means to confirm ourselves, we couldn't do much but wonder. Valikun, after seeing this, have you come to believe it all? The countless terrible rituals passed down in Himizawa? It's got nothing to do with believing them. Now that I've shown the real thing like this, there's no possible way to deny it. Even the nations of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. Didn't it have its own era of hellscape like torture feasts because of religious superstition, suppression, and things of that nature? Himizawa itself had such a period. It had that much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunt, that was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events, and in this age, nothing that normal would ever happen. That must apply to Himizawa as well. Just as Europe has had its dark ages, Himizawa had one too. That's how it should be taken. Even if these things all happened in Himizawa, that they're all in the long past. They don't have anything to do with the people living in Himizawa right now. Valikun, you really do like this village. It didn't sound like she was making fun of me. The Takano-san gave me a light smile. The Takano-san, you're researching whether those customs survived into the present. You are, right? Shion suggested something that made my heart leap into my throat. Are you telling me all those horrifying things are still going on today? What I'm going to tell you about is a secret, right? I told Shion-chan because you're an understanding person, but the other villagers don't want to hear it. Things go awry, I could be ganged up and punished. Shion flashed a devilish smile as if reveling in the immorality of it. About it, you keep it a secret too, okay? If it gets out, I could suffer Orishida-sama's curse, or be made into a sacrifice. If it's a curse, then I wonder what kind of death it'll be this year. So you can say the secret in front of the Orishida-sama statue, okay? If it's the sacrifice, then will I be thrown into the Onigaiushi swamp while still alive? It's tonight, you know, the night of Orishida-sama's curse. The kind of sunset bringing her face right up to mine. As if to say she had made her choice, she'd rather suffer the curse. That was what she was seemed to be implying. Takano-san took a fairly worn-out notebook out of her paper bag and then began to flip through the pages. There were all sorts of references and newspaper clippings attached to them. They had all manners of things written inside. The letters were very small and bunched together, so I couldn't tell at a glance what it was about. What I'd really like to do is search through the National Library for newspapers from this era, but here it is. A photocopy of a page from some book was slid into the notebook, and it too was written in small, tight lettering. Like the other pages, I couldn't tell what it was about just by glancing at it. This is a story that actually happened. It was around the end of the Meiji era. They discovered an unknown mangled corpse, the victim of a murder in Onigaiushi village. An old newspaper clipping attached to the page spoke of something that was no more rumor or fairy tale. We don't have most police documents from their time anymore. It was all based on oral traditions and memories. See, it's not very clear, but it looks like a cutout of a newspaper from the Meiji era. Never before has there been a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity. Could it be the work of a demon? Being a copy of a copy, it was even hard to make out, but it was more than enough to make me feel strangely tense. Near the end of the Meiji era, an old Onigaiushi village, a mangled corpse was discovered. The identity of the corpse was unknown. It wasn't even in a state where it could be identified in the first place. It was missing a head, and each limb was separated from its body. Skin had been peeled off the entire body, and there were markings that implied terrible torture in every place imaginable. Not only that, but the belly had been cut open by a sharp knife and the entrails completely dragged out. The police immediately began an investigation, but since they couldn't even determine the identity of the victim, much less the criminal, finding answers was extremely difficult. Do you understand what it must have been like? I couldn't imagine such a strange sight even if I tried. This was the first time I've ever been thankful for my lack of imagination. The victim was skinned while still alive, underwent all kind of torture and was killed brutally. The author here also thinks that even after death the remains were divided and dissected even further, the epitome of inhumanity. I'm of the opinion that the entire process was performed while the person was still alive though. What do you think, Mabara-kun? He spoke in a way intended to make me imagine even more vicious things. As my brain was already over capacity, however, there's no way I could imagine anything more brutal. Then when I broke my gaze from Takano-san's, those strangely shaped tools were all around us. I wondered if you could faithfully reproduce the mutilated corpse discovered at the end of the Meiji era with the tools around this place. I want to deny it. I don't want to admit that such a terrible thing could actually happen. Even so, they were so strange, so terrifying, these tools, and as if they had seen through my attempt to escape from reality, they did nothing but ridicule me silently. So that creepy incident, what was it in the end? The author says that regarding Onigaiushi village dreadful customs, they survived into the recent post-Meiji era, and that perhaps they lasted until around the beginning of the Showa period. This corpse, which at a glance had been brutally killed after a period of torture, in actuality, however, it was the pitiful sacrifice remains of the man-eaters a terrifying feast. The corpse was just leftovers. It was so fascinating, so strange that it didn't feel real. Was this the extension of the legends too? It happened in the Meiji area though, which is just too recent to be called a legend. Also, there's a newspaper clipping right there suggesting it. But okay, but even if it did happen, it was a really long time ago, right? And the Meiji era ended 100 years ago. That's all, only 100 years ago. Besides, it kept happening even after the beginning of the Showa period. Like with the uproar around the post-war canned flesh incident. Oh, I apologize. The story was taboo, wasn't it? Takano-san immediately stopped talking as if worried about Shion. Shion briefly looked somewhat angry, but the expression soon disappeared. Huh? Takano-san, what did you say? canned flesh? Just then there was a huge creaking noise. Everyone whipped around to look. Canned flesh? It was Tommy Taxan, who had opened the door slightly. Ah ha ha ha, did I startle you? Oh, Gio-san, could you not resist seeing inside? This is a splendid treasure trove of torture devices. I'll pass on that. Ah ha ha ha, I'm bad with this sort of thing by nature. Mikana-san held her stomach and had to muffle her laughter as if she wanted to make a comment about his masculinity. In any case, the dance and ceremony are over and everyone's going down to the stream. The festival will be over within minutes. Oh, that's not good. Barley-kun is just such a good listener that I couldn't help telling stories. I would really rather you not mention me in places like this. Gio-san, could you wait out front? I want to take a few pictures. There are actually a lot of tours I'd like to bring home, but we obviously can't do that. The Kana-san took out her camera or her paper bag and began to snap photographs. She looked like she was having fun, like she was on a scavenger hunt. Kichi-kun, are you leaving too? I've seen enough. Shion, you're good too, right? Let's get out of here. I want some fresh air. I agree, let's leave. I did feel a bit hesitation at leaving the Kana-san by herself in the darkness, but I thought about it, though. I realized that whatever kind of evil spirits and ghosts lurked in the darkness, none of them could hold a candle to how scary she was. Even if a phantasm were to appear, she would be overwhelmed and flash her camera at it. It seemed like Shion shared my somewhat rude mental images, but she glances and smiled painfully. We left to Kana-san that Raiden has strobe of camera flashes and decided to leave the ritual storehouse. Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone to the stream, so their voices were very distant. The voices of the bugs on the other hand were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to the place. How was it? Interesting? The Tommy-san gave us a somewhat mischievous grin. You should have been able to tell by looking at how pale our faces were. I should have get what's outside with you, Tommy-san. Ha 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 ha. Tommy-san laughed so delightfully that I wiped away my dark feelings. How did you fare, Shion-chan? Were you scared? I was prepared for it, so I wasn't afraid, but seeing the real thing was powerful. Shion spoke a little like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing how I was in a worse state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. As Tommy-san grinned candidly, my mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself. Was Kana-san an adult about this little expedition? You don't know how she seems like a child sometimes. I was worried she'd be way too excited, but she and I laughed and left that as our answer. Hopefully she was only looking at things. I'm worried she'll sneak something out of there or mess with the ritual implements too much and break it or something. Well, that's quite possible. She's alone there right now. She might pilfer something small and easily concealable, hiding in her pocket. Is this why she disappeared? This also happened in chapter 1 maybe? Maybe. Haha, yeah, I can see that. Shion said that what I was thinking. You sure she didn't break anything? You could clearly hear some noises like someone jumping up and down. I was getting pretty nervous. Maybe that's why Gio died as well. I'm sorry, I ran out of film. Gio-san, if you have any more, could I use some? The Kana-san suddenly appeared while we were talking about her taking everyone by surprise. The Kana-san smoothly grinned and responded as if nothing had happened. It's pretty mature. Ah ha 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 ha. I'm all out of spare film, sorry about that. Jeez, you won't win any preliminary Pills up prizes by not stocking enough film for any occasion, you know? Plizza? What's that? I suppose that's it then. Tommy Tag scratched his head apologetically. Is that like a photography prize? Without film, we're done here. The Kana-san seemed to have given up because of that too. We checked carefully to make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned to the heavy padlock we left beside there. The Kana-san, you didn't sneak anything out, right? How rude. I'm trying not to be that childish. Clack. Tamitaka set the padlock back to the way it was before. From my cursory glances, it didn't look like thieves had snuck in at all. Okay, let's get over the stream ourselves. If we don't at least set some coffin afloat, there won't be any point in coming to the festival. Tamitaka-san spoke brightly, urging us on. Setting the coffin afloat down the stream, I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. The Kana-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse. Let's just leave it at that, alright? Sure enough to state your curiosity, didn't you? Oh, not at all. Everything I found only renewed my interest. All those stories and legends suddenly hold water. After today, I'm going to have to change the way I look at things. Wow, she's really, indomitable. Curiosity really is something else still, and trusting in all this through and throughout. We descended the stone stairs and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see people receiving cotton that had been cut off from them and them wishing the cotton and saying it upload down the stream. The festival was already over. Damn. I missed my chance to photograph the best part of the Watanagashi. Oh, but it's not too late. I'm going to go and set some afloat. Perhaps you can take some pictures of me. The Kana-san, with an impressed expression, brought her head to Tamitaka-san's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked quite embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for him for Tamitaka-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of women. Just, well, that's not right. For dating such a handful of a woman. Goodbye then, Mabara-kun, Shion-chan. I keep reading it wrong. We're going down the stream. Would you like to come with us? Sure. No. We're not going, okay? I couldn't get in your way. Please take your time. Shion waved her hands to them with an expression just as impetuous to Kana-san. Tamitaka-san, on his part, seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps. I'm pretty worn out. Same here. I'm exhausted too. Ki-chan, this is your first Watanagashi, isn't it? You go on, don't mind me. I'm tired, so I like to stay away from the crowd. Yeah, if we were to go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony. My sister and your friends might be looking for you too. Go on. Oh, yeah, you're right. They've been by themselves ever since we got separated. I feel bad if they were still looking for me. Then Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face, then put her index finger to her lips as if telling me to keep this a secret. My sister is the type that gets really jealous. If she knew I was hugging you this whole time, she never let me hear the end of it. So keep tonight a secret, okay? Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing. No, not only because of that either. Considering what we were doing tonight, we really need to keep it a secret. Or should a Sama's curse might happen tonight, and we four would be the prime candidates. The loosening threads of tension began to taut again. Shion, however, burst out laughing. Alright, I'm going to get out of here before I run into my sister. I really am tired, so I don't have the endurance to put up with her anyway. I can't tell if you get along with her or not. At least I have a reason to die this time. Because I did something. Yeah, I don't remember doing something last time. I guess I can't look like an outsider. We get along, though. As she said that, a vague expression explained that there were a lot of oddities in our relationship between twins. I'm an only child, so I don't really get it. Make sure you get along with her, okay? Right, thank you kindly for your meddling. Okay, I'm going now. You should hurry up if you want to make it, Ki-chan. Watanagashi really is about to end. Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I turned my eyes to the final ceremony at the Watanagashi festival below me. Seriously though, what was that sound anyways? It was kind of unpleasant and creepy. What sound? The creak at the end? Huh? What sound? The sound. You know, the banging noise? It was really loud, wasn't it? I was giving her blank expressions so Shion said hard at me. I said hard at her too. Sorry, Shion, could you give me the short version? What was making the sound? Wait, Ki-chan, it didn't bother you? Well, when all said and done, it was like We were speaking two different languages. Shion, explain to me without jokes from the beginning, will you? Was this about a sound? Ki-chan, you keep joking around too. Really, honestly, it didn't bother you? Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were starting staring at each other in disbelief. We were answering each questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held in the urge to shout at her and ask politely one more time. I'm going to ask one more time, okay? I'll ask the questions. Shion nodded silently. Okay, here it goes. You said there was a sound. What are you talking about? The banging sound. It was like a kid jumping up and down the floorboards somewhere far away. It really didn't bother you? There was nothing to be bothered by. When did you hear this? I never heard anything. Wait, Ki-chan, are you serious? Shion, as if she didn't understand my plain and simple answer, passed me further, her expression serious. I have no clue what she's talking about, but if it has Shion acting like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine. It was when we were looking around at the inside of the ritual schoolhouse with Takana-san, about the time she was telling us stories, I think it was, little by little, louder and louder, off and on. She heard a banging sound like a child jumping on distant floorboards. That can't be true. Don't start trying to scare me after all. I didn't hear anything like that. In fact, it was utterly silent in there, that my own heartbeat was almost deafening. Please don't try to scare me, Ki-chan. It was like something was making noise in time with Takana-san's scary story, and I was totally creeped out the whole time. A chill rose from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body, and when it reached my head, my mind froze over. You and Takana-san weren't paying any attention to it at all, so I pretended I didn't hear it either, but you heard it, right? It happened a bunch of times and it was really loud. Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different, and you've got to be kidding me, look. In that schoolhouse we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet listening to terrifying old stories. The whole time Shion had been hearing a sound that we couldn't even hear by herself. Should that make a Shion who heard it tremble, or should it make me who didn't hear it tremble? I didn't know the answer at the time. But now Shion looked like she had made that decision before I did. Ah, ha 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 ha. What are you laughing about? I really got you, Ki-chan. I was fibbing the whole time. What? Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back of the hand. That smile seemed somewhat artificial, and actually made me feel worse. And after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left almost like she was running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I don't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but you couldn't possibly be lying. Of course not. And now thinking back, Tamitake-san said the same thing, didn't he? I could clearly hear the noise of someone jumping up and down. I was getting pretty nervous. Tamitake-san, the neutral party present at the time, said he'd heard something. Then that noise. It was real? The banging noise. It sounded as though a child was jumping up and down on some floorboards far away. But sheer summer's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most possible victims were candidates were Takana-san, Tamitake-san, Shion, and me. The bustling of the people sounded further away than I would have liked, and the sounds of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and yet I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted into my mind. Then all of a sudden I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lunge. Kichi, we found you. It was Rika-chan. When I turned around, Mian and Rina were there too. Mian sighed and said, we finally got you. Now we just got to find Satoko. Everyone, split up this year. We should make sure we have somewhere to meet up afterwards next year. You're right. It's a festival, so we should all go together. I listened to Mian's happy declaration, which made me feel a little guilty. Kichi, did you root for me while I was dancing? Yeah, I saw it all. You did a great job all the way through. No mistakes either. Yeah, that's right, Rika-chan. That didn't count as a mistake. I tensed up as I realized I made a mistake of my own. Mian snapped a hand on my shoulder a little roughly. The girl's sweaty sweat broke over my entire body. Did you do it too, Ki-chan? Did you get some cotton and send it downstream? You haven't yet, right? Is what I could feel her saying. Without the courage to tell her any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head. Huh? You haven't, Kichi-kun. You should go now, or it'll be over, it'll be over. Sorry, this is my first Watanagashi, so I don't really understand the rules and stuff. That's right, I'm sorry. Mion took my hand and we started walking down the stone steps. Hey Ki-chan. Wow. Did you see Shion? My heart skipped another beat. Mian could sense my surprise through my hand. No, oh well, I sort of saw her. You two look alike though, so it might have been you. You wouldn't have gotten that wrong. We're wearing different clothes. That's right. Mion's monetary silence was like a death grip upon me. I just can't do anything about that, Shion. Well, it's her we're talking about, so uh, we can just leave her be. Mion's expression returned to a former smile, and we couldn't continue down these stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. Higurashi when they cry? Yeah, okay. Is that the end of this chapter? Is there only one thingy? Or is there gonna be something else now? That was like an hour 30. Yeah, okay, that was it. Tips, and after the festival. Climbing the depths, I'll save. I'll read the tips next time, so, yeah, bye bye.